barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the link below. Nine Wise, we rocking and rolling all day long, huffing and puffing and singing that song. All right, I just got to finish watching Fight Hub's interview. Literally, just got done 1 second ago. Watching Marcos Villegas interview with Derrick James. And I thought Marcos did a good job, man. He asked the pertinent questions that boxing fans want to know. And I'll say this about Derrick James, man. One, he's in shape. And two, he protects his fighters like no other. And he knows how to give the fans what they want to hear and also protect his fighters, and let them speak for themselves. And I think that's a skill. That's a skill in its own right, man. And but at the end of the day, I want to say this. I think the most important thing in this, and y'all have been asking me why I haven't. I've gotten a lot of DMs and requests to do videos on how I feel about Errol Spence. And the reality is, I mean, he's on him and God's time. It's an injury. You know, I don't. I think it's unfair for me. I think it's unfair for the fans to even put a timeable schedule on him. You know, this isn't a Keith Thurman situation where the man is faking injuries and getting paid handsomely and enjoying his life. It's none of that. I think Earl is who he is, man. I think he's the same person that he is in the interviews that he is in real life, and he's very honest and forthright, and Derrick James is too, and I uh, I think it's on him and God's times. So this is the video I'm giving y'all. You know what I mean? I just think, I man, if a man can survive a car accident, dog, come on, man. This eye injury, he'll make a comeback and he'll make up his mind. Then is it worth it? Uh, Risk versus reward. And I think we need to get the fan out of us and become human. I said this in my last video. I think we got to become human at the end of the day. You know, uh, Adrian Broner's going through sometimes, whether he's joking, whether he's playing, but at the end of the day, something's wrong. Y'all know what I'm saying? Something is wrong. I got to get a mini tripod so I can just do videos in the house and not hold my phone. Because I know I apologize for the shaking, but it is what it is. But I genuinely believe that um, I'm just rooting for him, man. I have no qualms. I'm not a doctor. Dre is a doctor, but she's not a eye doctor, so she's a pediatrician. So she just can give you basic information as it pertains to retinas and detached and torn retinas. So I asked her, she didn't have an answer, and that's all I know. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm an expert. I'm not. I'm not. So, and the one suggestion that I would give to Earl is one. I'll say this too because I know that I'm not sure if he responded to Bernard Hopkins, but the boxing world has responded, and you couldn't help but see it if you're a boxing fan or a fighter. Is you don't have to prove nothing to nobody. Unified, undefeated world champion. You literally got Dallas on your back, right? And you got Dallas is your son, right? So I think that um, he owes us nothing. It's not like he's leaving it on the table. I think that accident reconnected him to mortality, humanity, and reality. And he's not leaving nothing on the table. And so my suggestion would be do it on your time. If it's no rush. Al Heyman ain't going nowhere. Al Heyman has your back. He ain't going nowhere. Look what he did for Daniel Jacobs and what's the guy's name? Stevenson, Adonis Stevenson. Al got your back, so you ain't got. There's no concern. You know what I mean? You gonna be A1. You gonna be okay. Al has shown that ability to love his fighters. I just wish that he will love the fans a little bit more and give us the fights that we deserve. So, but outside of that, it is what it is, man. And I think that fans are so acclimated to responding to a car crash. Mike Tyson. You know, the the apex of car crashes. How do you run through $300 million twice? Makes no sense. So um, so I hear that he may be going to the fight. So um, maybe someone will be gifted enough to get a one-on-one interview. And this is what I'm gonna say too. This is why one-on-one interviews are so important. I thought Marcos Villegas did a good job with that interview because it was one-on-one. He was able to build on top of build on top of build on top of build, man. And when you fighters want to get your message out, don't do them scrums. Do your one-on-one interviews. You already know by now you should know the personalities of all these media outlets. And if you don't know, you better know. You should know I'm aggressive. I'm going to go somewhere that I'm willing to take the risk. There's other media outlets that just wants to know the news today. And everyone has their own style, and you find what you see fit. So maybe we will get an interview with Errol. You know what I mean? Maybe we won't. I don't know. Earl depends on how Earl feels that day, and I'm glad he felt good that night. You know what I mean? I'm forever grateful for it, and um, and maybe I come from a biased perspective because Earl's humanity. I've been a benefactor of Earl's humanity. And I'm not talking about him coming into the barbershop. I'm talking about what he did for Jaquan for the Danny Garcia fight. So I will always think of Earl in reverence. I will, my first thought of Earl will always be in reverence. It will never be like, oh, he did this, he did that, because he didn't have to. Because, again, I will say this, I offered to pay for Jaquan's ticket, whatever it cost for him to go to the Errol Spence fight. And Earl didn't even call me back. He just said, we'll take care of it. So shout out to Jordan and shout out to Earl and Team Spence and I just think that story doesn't get enough attention. So maybe I come from a biased perspective, and it's okay. We're all biased. And so, but I'm not looking forward to this fight. Now let's fast. Now people gonna say, "What if?" Yeah, I know we always go through the what if. It's no lie. I mean, I would be in Vegas right now, hyped in the son of a gun. Except I'm in my living room. What I mean? I'm working on uh, conceptually my next film, and but that's pretty much it. And so I wouldn't mind 10 o'clock being in someone's strip club tonight. What I mean? With about 501s, having a great time. But I'll save it for next time. So with that being said, I mean, boxing fans gotta be human, because if Earl Spence was your cousin, your brother, your father, your uncle, your grandfather, your best friend, you would say, come back when you're ready. If he don't come back in December, cool. If he never fights again, cool. If he takes him 9 months, cool. And I'll say this too. I was listening to Derrick James' interview, and I know I'm all over the place in this shit, but I ain't got nothing but time right now. The kids are going to a birthday party, and off the top of my head, there's only two trainers I could think of off the top of my head that could handle Jamel Charlo. That's Derrick James and Havoc. 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 I'm trying to think of his name. Daniel Jacobs' old trainer. Those are the only two trainers I could think of off the top of my head that that had that knows how to comfort a Jamel Charles. Jamel, if you ever get rid of Derrick James, good luck finding another trainer, dog. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Man. Y'all better ride till the wheels fall off, and Derrick James is he values training so much that he's challenging himself to get his to get in the best shape of his life. So kudos all the way around, man. And I've never really had a serious eye injury or a physical injury, but I've had some. I've been fired and I've been laid off, and I've had to make those real time decisions, and I had to regroup and reassess my life and push and pull in places that I never thought I would have. Had to borrow money from people I never thought I would have to borrow money from. And so I understand the carpet being pulled underneath your life. Sunday, you got the key to the city, and Monday they changed the locks. So I've had that experience, and so I genuinely just wish the kid well, man. And when he comes back, he comes back. You know, it's not like Mike Tyson, where we know like shit. If Mike Tyson don't fight in December, oh shit, the world might catch up with him. So, anyways, man, I believe that he'll come back when he come back. And do I want to? Does the fight fan in me want to see him fight these fights? Obviously, but anyways, I just at the end of the day, hell of an interview with Marcos Villegas and Derrick James. The only thing is, he forgot to mention that Derrick James has two fighters fighting on this card. So you always got to do that too. So, but outside of that, I thought it was a good interview. I'm glad it was a one-on-one interview, because I what bothers me in the scrum is when I'm asking the questions that every fan wants, and then someone says, "What would happen if you fought Floyd Mayweather?" I think every fighter in the world should post, "If I fought Floyd Mayweather, this would happen. Don't ever ask me again." Barbershop Conversations, man. Don't forget 9 Wives is live right now. $5.19. Click the link in the bio or go to my Instagram, Silent Heroes. And that'll be it, man. So speedy recovery, Errol. Wish you well. And I don't think I really need to do any more videos on this. It's not up to me anymore, It's up to Errol and God and how his body responds. We got the answer, so why that's the dumbest thing ever. We got the answers to the test, and we're asking, what's the answer? We got it. Derrick James said it's the reality of it. The reality of it is what it is. So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations, 9 Wives in the bio. I appreciate y'all. I don't really give a damn about this fixed fight. I think the fight is fixed. Manny Pacquiao's going to win. Y'all can go spend your $70, $80, whatever you want. Fred ain't spending that money. I'm Frugal Fred. Y'all know me, Frugal Fred. That money staying in my pocket. So anyways, maybe I'll go buy another Earl Spence shirt or something like that. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'll holla. Peace.